Do you want to study in Canada and wondering what to do, how to plan for your study permit application? Don't worry. In this video, we will give you detailed information on who can apply for a study visa to Canada, how can you apply, and what are all the necessary things that you need for your application. To answer all the questions which are usually in the mind of a fresh graduate, we have with us an RCIC, an Authorized Immigration and Citizenship Representative, a member of the Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council, Mr. Mayank Walia. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayank, for being here. First of all, I would imagine a student who just graduated from high school or college or university and thinks about studying in Canada. The first thing which flashes on the screen is that he or she will need a study permit. What is that?
Yes, a study permit is required if a foreign national wants to study in Canada for a program more than 6 months in length. Once it is issued, it is usually valid for the length of a program plus the 90 days. And the 90 days is usually kept for a student to have enough time to prepare to leave Canada or to apply for extension of their stay in the country.
So what do we need to apply for this necessary document?
To apply for a study permit to Canada, you might need some of the documents to justify to a visa officer that you are a bona fide student and you have true intentions to study in the country. Each country, the document requirements varies, as well as there are certain aspects that based on which stream you're applying for your study visa application, you will be asked a different set of documents. But on an average, the 3 standard documents which is required is a proof of acceptance, which proves that you have been successfully admitted to an institution, have met all the conditions requirements. Second is proof of your identity that can be proven by using your valid passport of your country where you are applying from, and proof of financial support that can be justified by various documents. But in general, the students may submit a 4 months bank statement showing a proof of receipt that you have paid your tuition deposit, as well as if you have received any other fundings from any government or sponsored letter, you may attach those letters as well.
That's a lot of paperwork already. What else do we need?
A letter of explanation is something I would highly recommend for all students to enclose with their study visa application. It clearly indicates a visa officer to understand your goals and understand why exactly you want to study in Canada. It clearly signifies that as a student, you will obey the rules in Canada and respect Canadian immigration.
Interesting. And personally, I applied for my study permit application through VFS Global. I mean, on paper, I followed the offline route. Do we have an online portal for the same?
Yes, you can apply online and upload all your documents, same as you submitted in your paper version application. And then it's more efficient because it gets processed faster. The reason is it gets routed to a centralized pool where it's get directed to different case processing centers. And once it's reached to a case processing center, the chances of it being processed is always higher than a paper application. So I would highly recommend one should apply for online versus paper.
What exactly happens after the successful submission?
Immediately after you submit your application, you will receive a request for biometrics. Since January 2019, Canada has made biometrics as a mandatory part of your visa application for all the countries.
Okay, because I got my study permit before that, I don't have the experience of submitting biometrics. What is the process for that?
If you need to give your biometrics, IRCC sends a biometric instructions letter to either by mail or through an account where you apply from. You must bring a paper copy of that letter when you go to a visa application center, which we call VAC, and application support center, ASC, where you can go and submit your biometrics. The timeline to submit your biometrics is also indicated on the letter, which you will receive from IRCC.
And then starts the processing of your study permit application.
Right, your application is checked for completion to make sure they have all necessary documents. If it's incomplete, your application will be returned without being processed, or they will request you to upload the missing document.
Personally, I only went through a medical examination, but I've also heard about a police clearance certificate.
Absolutely. You may be asked to submit some documents pertaining to your individual case. You may also need to submit a medical examination or a police clearance certificate.
And if everything goes well, what will the student get after the entire process?
Once your application is approved, you will receive a letter of introduction. If it was a paper application, your passport will automatically be stamped with a study visa on it. If it was an online application, you will need to submit the same letter to the nearest processing center to get a visa stamp on it. At this stage, student is ready to fly to Canada, and once the student lands to the country, he would need to face a CBSA officer at a port of entry, which then later at the stage will grant you a study permit. And the length of the study permit is usually equivalent to the length of your study program plus the 90 days you're coming to stay in Canada.
Thank you, Mr. Mayank. And if you want to know more about the process, stay tuned. We have much more to share in this series.